Okay, so this is the official Eudoo interview with Matthew Quinn. Hello, Matthew Quinn.
Hello.
Yeah, so how's your day going?
It's going fine. Nothing particularly amazing has happened, but it's alright.
It's good to know. So I would like you to have a little self-introduction.
Alright.
Yeah.
So I'm Matthew Quinn. Currently I'm working here at Young and Shand. We are a digital agency in Auckland, New Zealand. I come from a background of graphic design. I quite enjoy doing creative works, and slowly I've moved to doing back-end development, which is what I'm doing here. I kind of live in Auckland during the week and end up out of Auckland in the weekends usually. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you. So the first question would be, if you are to summarize New Zealand in 3 words, what would they be?
I think my answer was very focused on finance, and by that I mean focused on finance. I mean we don't really necessarily think about the general well-being and how we are growing as communities and where our other values lie. Sometimes we're trying to fit these other issues in around how we're actually doing in the global financial market, and I think that's it appears to me to be a big, especially in politics, a big focus is the financial scene rather than all the other things, which just make, if we focus more on well-being and acceptance of others, I guess I feel life would be more interesting for many people.
Wow, thank you. I'm so wondering if you are to summarize what New Zealand should be in 3 words, what would they be? Say, what's the biggest change that you think New Zealand should make?
I guess looking at, environmentally conscious. That's not 3 words obviously, but I really like the idea that we, not just our natural environments, but the other environments we put ourselves within, and how they can kind of give us a certain satisfaction, as long as we treat them well. I guess I'm kind of talking quite weirdly at the moment, but if you don't ruin the global, the environment, obviously we'll be able to survive better as a race, and that's a big issue at the moment. But it's even all our other environments that we're creating and we live within, and sometimes we'll work out how to. I think I'm just going off on a tangent.
That's
here.
great. That's great. Thank you for that. So I'm wondering, given what you have just said, is there any specific person, a Kiwi, or celebrity at all that can stand for what you have just said?
Not on that. I guess if I was to think about a Kiwi, and this is changing the topic a bit, but maybe it's a good idea. I really enjoy listening to Radio National because they are all about just digesting information, and so one particular radio host would be Kathryn Ryan. She does the 9 to noon show, and she has this wonderful opportunity to talk to so many people from academic work, academia, or in various technical scenes, getting their hands dirty or just living lives, and there's so much experience that she learns from, and I find that very interesting that there's some person out there that has that opportunity to learn so much about such a wide degree of fields. And bringing it back to this environment idea that I was talking about, it's very easy for us to get boxed in, I suppose, and not think about wider pictures and other people, and so being very aware of what information is out there and actually taking time to give yourself opportunities to digest it and think outside of the field is quite important. So yeah, Kathryn Ryan's the person.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you for that. So, say if you were to come back to New Zealand, say in probably 50 years from now, so what do you expect or hope to see that New Zealand has become?
Accepting other people's differences and non-bias and just fair, just in terms of, I guess, popular issues today are women's rights and disabled rights, and we've got a lot of issues popping up about the Waitangi treaty of Waitangi, and I'm starting to learn far more about these. I don't really know how to argue about them because they're such massive topics, but it would be great if we could actually move beyond them, and I think more problems will come on the other side, but it's still stepping in a good direction, so it's one thing I'd like us to solve.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. So I'm wondering, given what you have just said, is there any New Zealand company that could sums up what you have just said?
There are a lot of companies dealing with these in different ways. A particular organisation I'm very interested in is what's their name? Anglican Action. So they're obviously a Christian group, and they're in Hamilton, and they go out of their way to support, or one of their programs they have is going out of their way to really support young adults or adolescent elder teens who really need a bit of guidance in life, because they are basically moving into become a lifestyle of being criminals and being put in jail, not having many options, and they just don't have the experience which gives them any sort of guidance of how they could get away from this. So Anglican Action has people who are some very intelligent people. They're paying them to go meet with these people and really give them a bit of a break and actually just show them that they can have more goals in life that aren't down that path that they're currently taking. I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah, that's really important. And well, thank you. Yeah. So now I would like you to close your eyes for a moment. So would you please tell me what images come to your mind when you hear the word New Zealand's future, the phrase?
Not a lot. Sounds a bit bleak, but I guess my imagination's not doing a lot today.
It's great, it's going great. So the pictures, yeah.
Well, I saw a picture of John Key, but I don't like that one.
Wow, that's very interesting. We rarely get, a picture of like a specific person.
Yeah, maybe that's just marketing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so here comes a massive question. So what idea do you think will unite humanity?
That's a weird question, but I think it is about dealing with our differences. I think that's an issue that we've got to solve, and I don't know if we can solve it, but there are a lot of people out there who find it hard to recognise that we are all different people, and we've got to find ways around that.
Yeah, so that's really important. And would you explain a little bit further on dealing with differences?
Well, just the stigmas we have against each other, the stereotypes, the cultural differences that sometimes seem bizarre and it's like morally wrong or ethically objectionable, when really it's just another person living how they live and being who they are. And sometimes your gut instinct is to kick out against who another person is or what they're doing, when really there might be quite a logical reason behind that. or maybe even just a behavioural reason that's ingrained in them, and we need to be able to look at it for what it is, and if it's very problematic, find a proper solution rather than some kind of jolting action, I guess. Just think things through a bit more, I suppose.
Yeah, and so here comes another question. I would like you to think like selfishly, really selfishly. So how do you think this project, Eudoo, can be useful for you, just for yourself, like, yeah.
I guess a really good thing it could do for me is put my ideas out there a bit more and find similar people with similar interests, and that could be quite cool. It's something I wouldn't actually mind.
Yeah, that's great. So here comes another question, one final question that doesn't appear in last interview. So if you were to nominate anybody at all that you would like to see us interview in the future, who would that be? Or maybe a type of people?
Type of people?
Because so far we got Junkie, of course, and Lord, and some celebrities, and like 7-year-old children, well-traveled people, and like Asian Kiwis, they're here for, got different types of people, and we'll definitely go after them.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll say Maori people.
Maori
people who like kind of leaders of their cultural groups, or quite involved in their cultural
like
groups.
opinion leaders and cultural leaders, right?
Yeah, I guess cultural leaders would be
cultural leaders.
They don't need to have a big hierarchical position, but people who are recognised as someone who represents people. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing that.
Well, definitely see to that. So, thank you.
No worries.
Thank you. And here.